hunting and fishing needs covered at the lowest prices around, and they have the largest selection of firearms in the Midwest with brands like Glock, Sig Sauer, Springfield. They sell suppressors and are an authorized law enforcement reseller. But that's not all. They carry the top brands like Yeti, Lifestrong, and Columbia. Visit their new Springdale store or in Lebanon, which carries boats. See my friends at Vance Outdoors. Get the very best gear at vanceoutdoors.com.
Inexperienced prosecutors across the country are going soft on crime, leading to chaos, lawlessness, and more violence in our cities. They side with criminals over police. They ignore the victims. They leave our families vulnerable. Connie Pillage has never prosecuted a case. Not one, but Pillage has repeatedly sided with criminals and even let her law license expire. Connie Pillage. Zero experience, zero trust. We need Melissa Powers, a battle-tested fighter with decades of experience. After 15 years as a prosecutor and defense attorney and 16 on the bench as a judge, Melissa Powers knows the devastating impact crime has on communities and won't let it happen here. Melissa's protected the most vulnerable in our society. Kids, families, victims of terrible crimes. And in over 150,000 cases, Melissa delivered justice. Tough on crime, experienced in court, right for Hamilton County families. Melissa Powers for Hamilton County Prosecutor. Paid for by Powers for Prosecutor.
JeffWeilerNissan.com.
Oh, boy. Special bumper music only means one thing.
Here it is. This day in history, Ed. By the way, this day in history brought to you by Vance Outdoors. Gear up for your next hunt with Vance at their locations in Springdale or Lebanon or vanceoutdoors.com. Now, by the way, this is the old version of Here I Go Again on My Own. By the way, that's what we're talking about. This day in history, October 10th, 1987.
Right.
Here I Go Again by
Whitesnake.
Thank you. Tops the Billboard pop singles in the United States.
You know why?
What people will recognize and remember is because of the amazing video with one Tawny Katane in it.
Yeah.
So, and basically what happened was, they really didn't know like what to do. Like, hey, we're going to shoot a music video.
Right.
And David Coverdale was like, well, I got a Jaguar right here, and like their guitar player's like, well, I got one. How about we just pull them up like side by side, and you're dating that really hot girl.
How about your hot girlfriend?
How about she just dances
on
around on the hood of the Jaguar? Perfect. And it really kind of spawned that video many, many other times over, right?
Oh,
Everyone's
yeah.
like, I mean, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought great rock and roll with scantily clad, top-notch, beautiful women and cars would sell?
Dude,
come on.
I mean, think about that. And anybody of that age knows, because that was, I think, 3 videos. Was it?
Yeah, she was in, I think, 3 of them.
I think there was 3 of them.
She was in Still the Night, I believe.
Yeah. Whatever, that album spawned, I think, 3 kind of big songs there. And then Aerosmith did Steven Tyler's daughter. What's her name? I forget.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
When it was kind of, they were like,
yeah,
kind of,
are they friends or what's going on?
It's hotter the other way, but nobody's saying anything. So there were 3 of those videos.
Yes.
And then Van Halen, of course, had Hot for Teacher.
Right.
There were a ton
That's
of
what I'm
them.
saying, but this kind of started the, okay, let's go with the formula that works. Hot girls, cars, rock and roll.
Rock.
Let's
Boom.
go. But by the way, I mean, Austin play. I didn't know this, but the song that was released on this day in history, 1987. Okay, here I go again.
Okay.
That was actually released in 1982 off their album Saints and Sinners, and that was the version Austin played. Similar but different.
Well, the other one just powered up.
Yeah. They just jazzed it up, kind of powered up a little bit. So, I listened to that today. I was like, oh.
Yes. Go look that up on the YouTube.
Yeah. Thank Ed and the Rockman later. Okay, that's great stuff.
I'm sure there's a playlist of hot girl hair metal band videos.
Yeah.
Like Girls, da-da-da-da, Centerfold, Jay Giles Band, that girl dancing. There was a ton
here,
of them.
let me just get off the top of my head, because, I'm just spitballing here. But
Right.
some of the ones, do yourselves a favor. The Big City Nights by the Scorpions. Look that video up.
I don't remember that one.
That's pretty awesome. Yes, Hot for Teacher.
Yeah.
Still the Night by Whitesnake. Trying to think of what else. Basically any Motley Crue video.
Correct. Because there were
Just all of
basically
them.
shot at strip clubs in L.A.
Right. Exactly. So there you go. Rock and roll excess, which of course led to the antithesis of that, which was the stripped down music and no frills of grunge music.
Grunge comes.
Because it did get kind of corny. I mean, there's guys running around there with, hair-sprayed hair up to the damn ceiling and wearing, girls' clothes and stuff.
It played out pretty quickly, but it was cool while it lasted.
It was cool while it lasted. Cool while it lasted, yes. Rock and roll excess to the max.
So, Rock, you've heard the phrase "drunk as a monkey," right?
I have,
and we all have, and that rings very, very true to me, because there was I won't name him because he's in management now at Clear Channel, iHeartMedia Corporate. He's one of those guys that lives in New York.
Oh, okay.
But we went to bachelor party in Vegas with my good friend Finn. He's been on this radio station before. He used to be my partner on the EBN, and it was his bachelor party. So a few of us went to Vegas, and this fella from New York City was one of them. And he was a local guy then. He comes from here, and he was, shall we say, drunk from the time we got on the plane until the time we got off the plane. And that was 4.5 days.
Whew.
Left here on, say, a Wednesday afternoon, came back on Sunday. And we're getting on the airplane, and he looks at me and goes, "Ed Fingers, I'm drunk as a monkey." That's like,
you'll never forget that,
dude. You don't have to. Well, that was the joke. It was, you're telling me something I don't already know.
Yes,
I'm practically. We need a wheelchair, dude. Just please sit down in that chair, and I don't want to deal with this situation anymore. Now he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's what that'll get you. But anyways, here's look at this monkey. And again, we're talking about pictures that you can't see, but you can look it up. A monkey in Brazil is
bottoms up on a beer bottle.
He's trash picking, and he finds a half empty bottle of beer in a trash can, picks it up. Well, my point is, look at him. He's drinking it like anybody would drink from a bottle.
Yeah,
how do monkeys know how to do that?
Maybe there's just a organic way that you drink a beer out of a bottle, and you're finishing off the last little bit, and you want to get that last drop.
I get it. It's because there's only one way to drink from a bottle, but this monkey looks like,
it's not like he's pouring out and lapping up. He's just like,
he looks like your buddy at the end of the night at a bar going, "I can finish that." Let's go.
Correct.
Well, so look, we're not that far evolved. Either they're evolving or we're not that far evolved.
Or we're
you
devolving,
tell me.
yes. Yeah.
We checking out with traffic and weather. What's going on?
From the UC Health Traffic Center, Mammogram Save Lives. Call 513-584-PINK to schedule your annual mammogram with UC Health's expert team. That's 513-584-PINK. Breakdown on 75 southbound of the Brent Spence Bridge is still being attended to. That's causing about a 45-minute delay on 71 southbound from Dana down to the Brent Spence Bridge, and 75 southbound is about a 20-minute delay from Hopple down to the bridge. Now, 275 east eastbound between US 42 and Montgomery Road. We're seeing heavier pockets here. 71 northbound from Ridge to Ronald Reagan Cross County Highway. It's up to about a 10-minute delay. 75 northbound, Mitchell to Paddock slows. And we're seeing heavier traffic, too, still 75 northbound from US 42 in Kentucky to the Brent Spence. It's about a 15-minute delay. I'm Rick Shrimp, News Radio 700 WLW.
The forecast from a 700 WLW Weather Center for tonight. Clear skies, the low of 40. For tomorrow, sunshine and 77. It is 70 now. News Radio 700 WLW.
Oh, boy, we've got an election. We're voting for a president, representatives, senators, sheriffs, issues, levies, and a whole lot more. There's so much to vote for this time, you might get a finger cramp. And we've got election news out the squeaker. Listen for the latest election coverage on 700 WLW.
This report is sponsored by Baxla Tractor, your Kubota headquarters.
Baxla Tractor is Cincinnati's Kubota headquarters. Tractors, steer skidders, mowers, UTVs, and more. They have it all. Stop by their showroom for a Kubota today. Visit online at BaxlaTractor.com.
Hey, are you tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? It's time to get the relief you deserve without going under the knife. Think about it. Your body heals itself. Think about it. You cut your finger. Hey, guess what? Your body's healing agents are at work because it heals up in a few days. QC Kinetics can take those healing properties and concentrate them in the joints where you have pain to help heal and restore those achy areas. This treatment is available now right here in Cincinnati through QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. The results, you can move again with no pain. QC Kinetics has treated thousands of patients with incredible success. Finally, relief from arthritis and injury without surgery or downtime, no steroids or pain pills. If you've got pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back, you need to see if you're a good candidate for these new treatments. Call now to schedule a free consultation with QC Kinetics. 513-847-0019. That's 513-847-0019. Call now. 513-847-0019.
For more information about contests on this station, go to 700WLW.iHeart.com/rules.
Tri-State Ford truck buyers. Mike Castrucci Ford in Milford and Alexandria is your source for light-duty F-150 pickup trucks. Just announced. Buy a brand new Ford F-150 pickup. Take as much as $14,000 off the sticker price with dealer discount and factory rebate. That's $14,000 off the sticker price. Check us out online or visit us today. 300 new Ford trucks in stock. That's Mike Castrucci Ford. Tri-State Ford buyers. Mike Castrucci Ford in Milford and Alexandria is your source for all things electric. You can lease a brand new 2024 Ford Mach-E, just $299 a month, 24 months, payment plus tax, 10,500 miles a year, 20 cents a mile over, $39.95, cash due at signing. Check us out online or visit us today only at Mike Castrucci Ford.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors. InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to InventHelp.com to get your free inventor's information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at InventHelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors receive more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's InventHelp.com. InventHelp.com.
In the criminal justice system, prosecutors bring the charges, and judges make sure justice is done. Prosecutors have to be tough, and judges have to be fair. And in the Ohio criminal justice system, Megan Shanahan has been both a prosecutor and a judge. Sending hundreds of dangerous criminals to prison, no prosecutor was tougher than Megan Shanahan.
A child rapist was sent to prison today. Before she won the case, prosecutor Megan Shanahan told the jury that they should keep it.
And then, Megan Shanahan became a judge. With more than a dozen years on the bench, Judge Shanahan has presided over some of the most difficult criminal and civil cases in Ohio. You want law and order on the Ohio Supreme Court? Then you want Judge Megan Shanahan, a defender of the Constitution. Shanahan, Judge Megan Shanahan for Ohio Supreme Court.
Paid for by Shanahan for Ohio.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Live from the 700 WLW studios. Driven by Mike Castrucci Jeep in Fairfax. Now recognized as the largest volume Jeep dealer in Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. Mike Castrucci Jeep is the #1 Jeep dealer in the tri-state. That's Mike Castrucci Jeep in Fairfax.
You're listening to 700 WLW. Also available on 94.5 FM W233BG Cincinnati.
Coming up here after the 4 o'clock news, we've got our usual Thursday guest around about this time.
Yes, and PJ Street. And look, he's always preaching to us about how you want to lose weight, you got to count your calories, right? You got to get down there, which is tough to do. So we're going to explore the topic. Can you lose weight consistently and keep it off while not counting your calories? And what other things must you do to do that? So it'll be very worthwhile, because a lot of people say, well, I'd love to do it, but man, it's just kind of tough, writing out everything and seeking out the calories for this and that and everything else. So we'll see if it's possible.
Well, as we get older, that becomes important. But I told you this morning, I picked up my son from Chicago at the airport, brought him back to our house. And he said, yeah, I got a big sandwich at the airport before I left Chicago, blah, blah, blah. And we were going to take him out to lunch, and then I was going to come to work. And I said, so you don't want to go to lunch, huh? Because Mom and I were going to take out to lunch. And he said, no, I might be hungry by the time we do that. And this is at like 11.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, lunch isn't that far away.
Right.
And he's, no. And let's go out later. And I said, well, I can't go out later. You know what? I don't mind. I'll just make some at home, and it's fine. And your mother doesn't care either. So he's like, cool. I'll just have a snack. So I have a better part of a sandwich for lunch. So put the rest of it in the fridge. While I'm doing that, he goes, that lunch meat looks good, Dad. So he grabs a couple of slices of bread, piles a bunch of turkey and ham on there, tomato,
himself a $15 sandwich,
onions all over it, puts a little lettuce on there and whatnot, and just chows that down. And then Deb goes, you know what? I forgot I had these meatballs in here. You could have had those. And he goes, let me see them. He eats that. He eats a bowl of meatballs. This is a kid that told me not a half hour ago that he was not hungry. He was not hungry. Now,
wait a minute. Right? Yeah. I'm not. I want you to eat. You don't have to hide it.
That's a quick snack,
right? Maybe he's just not used to. He lives out of town, right? Maybe he's not used to having the.
He lives by himself,
right.
So I'm sure.
Just kind of skips lunch.
Well, he did look in our refrigerator like it was Oz or something. He was like, "My God, look at all the food you guys got." They're like, it's just the two of us, man. That ain't that much. I'm sure in your fridge, what is there, a bag of, or a bottle of Gatorade?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For his refrigerator, it's a bottle of Gatorade, a couple of half-drank Diet Cokes, and some mustard,
and some mustard that expired about a year and a half ago.
Right. By the way, real quick, since we're talking about this, we had to get a new refrigerator. Right, damn thing finally broke. Didn't want to do it, and we did the most liberating thing in the world, which was, had to throw stuff out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go back in there and you're like, oh, what's the date on this? And you see like a 2022 and you're like,
right,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Absolutely.
This has gotten lost in the back there. So I'm like, look, I instituted a strict 5 condiment maximum. Right? We can have mustard. We don't need 7 mustards. Okay. Yeah. And it's amazing how much it's cleared up room in our new refrigerator.
Because I've told you that I will go if I go to the grocery store, it's just because I want to get something she'll ask me to go, look, I'm at work. Would you go pick up something for dinner? Yada, yada. So I'll run to the grocery store, pick up some chicken or whatever the hell. But while I'm there, I'll walk by the barbecue sauce and go, oh, I've never seen that barbecue sauce before. I wonder what that tastes like.
Mango jalapeno lemon barbecue.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And that's what she, at one point, and like I said, it's just the two of us living in our house. And so there shouldn't be that much in the fridge. And at one point, she pulled out 8 different kinds of barbecue sauce. And she looked at me and put them on the counter and said, why do we have these? And I said, I don't know.
I don't know. Ma'am, I cannot tell you how those got in there. It's no earthly clue.
It sounded good at the time.
Yeah.
I said, don't send me to the grocery store. But because I just wanted to taste it. You have to buy a whole damn bottle? What do you want me to do?
Jar
Open it and put my finger in and go, nah, not for me. Put it back on the shelf. What are you supposed to do?
Forget about the smaller size, though.
Oh, it only comes in one size.
2-quart one.
You know what? Go all in. I always try to pretend I'll end up eating that. Don't worry about it. We'll probably make some sloppy joes or something.
See, I'm the king of leftovers, man. I always tell my wife, I don't care. She cooks a lot.
Yeah,
and,
I eat leftovers big time.
And I'm like, I don't care. And she makes good food, but I'm like, it don't need to taste great, but I need it to be healthy, and I need to be a lot of it because I'm going to eat tomorrow for lunch.
Yeah. Well, I've told you, my buddy refuses. His wife has said he will not eat leftovers.
Why? It's so much. You save so much money. I mean,
know.
People that go out to lunch every day, I don't know how you do it.
That was the way he was brought up. He just throws it out. And we were out one time, and he got a giant sub sandwich and ate half of it. And the waitress comes over and is like, "You're done with this?" And he said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, you want me to get you a box?" He said, "No, I'm good." And I said, "No, give me a box."
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like,
there's something unethical about that.
That's what I said. I'm like, you're not going to throw that away. What the hell is wrong with you?
Give them the whole "they're starving kids in Africa" speech.
Goes, I don't want to. He goes, I don't want it. I said, well, I'll take it home. I don't care if I sit in my refrigerator for a couple of days and I end up throwing it out. At least I gave it a fighting chance.
You gave it the old college try. God, I can't just throw it out.
With that, we check in with the news. News Radio 700 WLW.
News, traffic, and weather. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
Projecting billions in damage and multiple deaths already. With the 4 o'clock report, I'm Jack Crumley. Breaking now, fatalities were reported in Florida even before Milton came ashore last night.
This is a special report from ABC News, Hurricane Milton. I'm Michelle Franzen. Both coasts of Florida and in between dealing with widespread damage and power outages following Hurricane Milton. It's now churning out in the Atlantic. At least 10 are dead, Homeland Security says, due to tornadoes in St. Lucie County yesterday. Kevin Guthrie with Florida's Emergency Management says rescues continue due to flooding.
They worked before the storm, during the storm, and they're going to continue to work until we make sure that anybody that needs to be rescued will be rescued.
At a briefing, the president says FEMA is on the ground and initial aid is being distributed. He says after Hurricanes Milton and Helene, the Small Business Administration will need more funding to meet the longer-term needs and called on Congress to return.
The SBA is pretty right at the edge right now. And I think the Congress should be coming back and moving on the emergency needs immediately. And they're going to have to come back after the election as well.
No word if Congress will return early. This is ABC News.
Now the latest traffic and weather together.
From the UC Health Traffic Center, mammograms save lives. Call 513-584-PINK to schedule your annual mammogram with UC Health's expert team. That's 513-584-PINK. We have that breakdown on 75 southbound on the Brent Spence Bridge with delays behind it, about a 37-minute delay now on southbound 75 from 74 on down to the bridge, and a half-hour delay 71 southbound from Dana Avenue down to the bridge. So again, plan on delays as crews are trying to get this cleaned up. Now, 275 eastbound between 75 and Montgomery Road, we're looking at about a 10-minute slowdown here. Pockets of heavy traffic, 75 northbound Mitchell to Paddock, and southbound 75 Shepherd to Ronald Reagan Highway. Northbound 71 Norwood lateral to Ronald Reagan Cross County Highway is adding about 10 minutes. And 75 northbound US 42 to Donaldson, about a 7-minute delay. And northbound 75 between Dixie Highway and the Brent Spence Bridge, adding about 6 minutes. I'm Rick Schremp, News Radio 700 WLW.
Now the latest forecast from the Advanced Dentistry Weather Center. Advanced Dentistry, the judgment-free dental experience you've been looking for. NoFearDentist.com.
Clear skies tonight, a low of 43 degrees, bit chillier. Parts to the east are going to be under a frost advisory. For tomorrow, though, sunny with a high of 74. Sunny on Saturday, a high around 80, and then we do have a chance of showers and storms before the end of the weekend. Radar right now showing clear skies in the tri-state. It's 70 degrees. Another I-75 closure set for this weekend.
Just like last weekend, northbound 75 at the Norwood Lateral will be closed starting Friday night about 10 o'clock until overnight Sunday. Crews fixing a dip in the road on 75, different from last weekend. Kathleen Fuller with ODOT says they'll also close the exit from the eastbound side of the lateral to Paddock to try and ease backups on I-75.
If you don't want to wait, you don't have time to wait, just find an alternate route. Use I-71 or I-74. That will help you get back around to 275.
Fuller says depending on how it goes this weekend, they might not have to do another weekend shutdown this month. I'm Matt Reese. News Radio 700 WLW.
The Ohio Attorney General is suing a Northern Kentucky concrete company for allegedly ripping off customers in Ohio. Dave Yost says Superior Concrete and Hardscape Design has illegally taken more than $50,000 from customers, allegedly taking money but not doing the work. The Consumer Price Index rose more than expected in September as the cost of food and rent remains stubbornly high. Meanwhile, initial filings for unemployment benefits unexpectedly went higher, with the Labor Department getting over 250,000 initial requests last week, an increase of more than 30,000 from the week before. On Wall Street today, near the closing bell, the Dow ending down 58 points, NASDAQ down 27, the S&P off by 12.
700 WLW. Sports.
Here's a Bengals update brought to you by Good Spirits Wine and Tobacco in Party Town with 13 locations in Northern Kentucky, your tailgate headquarters. Bengals up against the Giants on Sunday Night Football. Preview the game tonight on the Cincinnati Tax Resolution powered by Toph Sheldon Roundtable Show, live from Long Necks at Richwood at 6:05 here on 700 WLW. Baseball American League Division Series action tonight at 6. It is Detroit hosting Cleveland with the Tigers up there 2-1. Then at 8 is the Yankees and Royals with New York up there 2-1. NHL tonight, Columbus Blue Jackets open their regular season at Minnesota. Bill Dennison, 700 WLW Sports.
I'm Jack Crumley. Our next update at 4:30. Breaking news anytime. News Radio 700 WLW.
This report is sponsored by Land of Illusion Haunted Scream Park.
It's back.
Land of Illusion, America's #1 ranked haunted scream park. Experience 6 massive spine-tingling attractions and a full bar to calm your nerves. Get details and tickets at landofillusion.com.
We hear a lot from our patients after we've successfully treated their erectile dysfunction. But one thing we hear the most is, why didn't I get treated sooner? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're suffering with ED and all the emotional and relationship problems it causes, don't wait. Call us today. ED is simply a medical condition like any other. And for most men, it's fully treatable, which means you can get your sex life back. And I'm not talking about sex that's just okay, by the way. I'm talking about good sex with the ability to enjoy intimacy without the anxiety that affects so many men who have ED. In fact, you might find you're performing like you haven't in years. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated thousands of men with protocols that are successful in well over 90% of cases. And we have a variety of treatments and treatment combinations so you can get the one that's right for you. So stop waiting and call us. Your first visit includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hey, Lance McAllister here. Kelly and I turned to Stone Statements for our new kitchen countertops and watched our kitchen come to life. Check out their large selection of on-site quartz, granite, and quartzite slabs. The process was smooth and easy. The installers were pros. Visit stonestatements.com today.
Why settle when your love is as real as it gets? Begin your unforgettable engagement with a GIA-graded 1-carat natural diamond set in a timeless gold ring for just $3,950. Because love isn't made in a lab. We welcome all to experience the finest natural diamonds and rarest creations at prices you must see to believe. James Free Jewelers, 9555 Main Street, Montgomery, or shop online at jamesfree.com.
When you're moving down the road, you should get a good feeling inside. For collision repair, Liberty is there. Call Liberty Collision today.
Rocky here for Vance Outdoors. Vance has all your needs covered, from shooting sports to hunting and fishing, the lowest prices, and the largest selection of firearms and outdoor necessities in the Midwest. Visit Springdale or in Lebanon. Get the very best gear at vanceoutdoors.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Coffee Shop Radio.
It's true, my bad habits lead to you.
Acoustic rock and the greatest singer-songwriters of the 90s to now.
All night, come on, dance with me. I'm levitating.
And Coffee Shop Radio goes commercial-free every weekend.
That was when I ruled the world.
Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Coffee Shop Radio, and listen now.
iHeartRadio.
Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
All right, back with Eddie and Rocky. And Rock, we always do this every Thursday roundabout now.
Yes, we check in with our good friend, our fitness and health guru, PJ Street. And PJ, one thing we've talked about over the years you've joined us is the importance of calories when it comes to gaining or losing weight. And calories count, calories in, calories out, that kind of thing. And I know you're a big proponent of counting your calories and weighing your food and having a journal and all that. But look, a lot of people aren't going to do that. Are there ways, PJ, that people can lose weight, keep it off without going through all the steps of counting the calories, specifically weighing them, that sort of thing?
Well, there are, but I think people's expectations need to be lowered if they're not willing to, count calories and track their meals and weigh and measure food. So that's number one. If you're not willing to do that, I think your expectations need to be lowered. That said, yes, it is possible to lose weight without the meticulous weighing and measuring and tracking and whatnot. But again, I think the problem is people have really high expectations for weight loss, but they're not willing to do what's necessary to get those kind of results, right? However, yes, you can lose weight without weighing and measuring and tracking. So here are a few tips. Okay. Number one, the biggest one, prepare most of your meals, the vast majority of your meals at home. Okay. So if you're door dashing or getting takeout or eating out at restaurants more than about 5 times a month, you're just not going to get real far. All right. And again, I'll get pushback on that. Well, we like to eat out, we like to get takeout, and we like to go out to eat a lot, and we're social. And again, my pushback is, well, you got to be willing to do something, right? Mm-hmm. I can't offer you a door number 2 that you can walk through to where you don't have to do anything or make any sacrifice or accept any trade-off, right? So if you don't want to weigh, measure, and track, the number one thing would be prepare most of your meals at home, because you're going to have a lot more control of the calories coming in. Because I've talked about this before on the segment, guys. You go to a restaurant, man, the amount of calories that you're going to consume, with the added butter and oil and whatnot, it's astronomical. Like, you got to understand, restaurants aren't in the health business. They're in the pleasure business. Okay, so you know what I mean? So so that would be my number one tip. Probably drastically curtail the amount of takeout, eating out, door dashing that you're doing. Okay. Number two, eliminate or drastically reduce the amount of liquid calories you're consuming. All right. That means alcohol. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. That means your 500 calorie daily coffee drink. Okay. From whatever coffee shop. That means your energy drinks. That means your soft drinks. All right. So honestly, guys, those first two things, prepare most of your meals at home and eliminate or drastically reduce the liquid calories, that would cause a lot of people to drop a significant amount of weight. Those two things alone.
So, PJ, now, just in terms of liquid calories, what would you estimate the average person, without even knowing it, ingest just in terms of liquid calories a day?
Rock, I mean, look, you think about the typical person who goes through a Starbucks or whatever in the morning and gets a mocha chocolate, venti drink. Correct. Right? I mean, some of those drinks are like 700 calories.
Yeah, and lots of sugar. Yeah, the whole deal. Yeah.
And then, people love their soft drinks. And I don't understand this because there's so many 0-calorie soft drinks now that taste just the same as a regular, but some people just love full-calorie soft drinks. Those are 200 calories a pop, and some people are drinking 2 or 3 of those a day. And don't even get me started on the alcohol. I mean, a pint of craft beer, 200 calories.
Yeah.
A margarita, 400 calories. So when you compound all this, and like a lot of people are doing this every day, they're getting their coffee drink in the morning, they're having their full-calorie soda in the afternoon, and then they're going out for happy hour at night and having 1 or 2 drinks. I mean, okay, now we're at 1,200 calories maybe.
Yeah, without even thinking about it.
One of my favorite things is to go to a restaurant and see somebody get like 5 cheese conies and a 3-way on the side and a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Right.
Way to go.
Right. Right. But this is, these are things that people don't consider. They even if you eat a healthy entree at a restaurant, I mean, it's still a lot of calories. I mean, even if you get a healthy salad at a restaurant, some of these things are 1,500 calories. And then you're going to add on the 2 or 3 drinks on top of that. Okay, well, now we're at 2,000 calories for the meal. That's most people's daily requirement, right? So those two things in and of themselves would, if you don't want to track and you don't want to weigh and you don't want to measure and you think it's obsessive and meticulous and time consuming, those two things right there would probably cause a significant amount of weight loss for most folks. Now, if we add in, if you get 10,000, 15,000 steps a day, okay, well now we're compounding it even more. And if you also get, I've talked about this so many times, if you get 7 hours of sleep a night, your appetite's going to be significantly lower. Your cravings are going to be reduced because sleep deprivation will just crank up cravings. It'll make you want to move less. So like those are my main 4 things for people who just refuse to count and track calories and weigh and measure food. It's like those 4 things. Eliminate or drastically reduce eating out, takeout, DoorDash. Eliminate or drastically reduce liquid calories. Get better sleep and walk a lot. All right. And again, I have these conversations with the clients all the time. They're like, I don't want to track my food. I know you're a big believer in it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm like, okay, well, here's the alternative. And they'll tell me, well, that doesn't really fit with my lifestyle. I can't do any of that either because I like to go out to eat a lot, and I love my morning coffee drink, and I love to drink, and my husband and I like to stay up and watch Netflix. Okay, well, if that's the case, and again, I'm turning 47 tomorrow, so I'm in a bad mood, and I'm just in the old curmudgeon.
My God.
You sound particularly on edge, yes.
Right.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not go out and get a little liquored up tonight? Come on, PJ. Get it on.
But I have these conversations with people, and they're like, I really want to lose weight, but I won't do this and I won't do that and I won't do the other thing. And I'm like, okay, well, if this is where you are, you need to reconcile in your head, hey, maybe I really don't want to lose weight and get healthier. Maybe I like the idea of it.
Yeah, you like the idea of it,
that's,
yeah, that's it.
Or, like we've talked about before, you could also just spend $500 to $1,000 a month on GLP-1 Ozempic type medications, and this would probably all be taken care of for you without having to do much of anything.
You know what? Let me ask you that, PJ. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've wondered about that. If you were taking Ozempic and continue to live the life you're living, would you lose weight?
Eddie, here's the thing about these drugs, and I've talked about it before on here. Those drugs will literally, you will know when you've had enough to eat, and it will reduce your appetite to where you really can't, you're not going to engage in this hedonistic type consumption of calories. And I have so many clients who are on them, who, again, I'm a big advocate for them if you actually need them and qualify for them. But like that literally just like anything dopamine related or pleasure related, like you just basically don't really want to do that much anymore. And I have a lot of people who are on these drugs, and they all report the same thing. They're like, I really don't want to drink much alcohol anymore. I used to, and I really can't even get through my morning coffee when I used to have a pot and a half.
Wow.
And I just,
drugs. What does it do to you?
And that's why it's being studied now for these GLP-1s are being studied for things outside of weight loss. They're being studied for addiction and alcoholism and drug addiction. And, so again, but you got to do something.
Some sort of sacrifice you must make.
Right.
I mean, there's no getting around it, period.
No, or you just, like I said, you got to come to a point of radical acceptance with where you are and what you're willing to do and not do. Like if you tell me I want to lose all this weight and but I'm not going to do basically anything, and I'm not going to change my lifestyle, and I'm not going to accept the opportunity costs and trade-offs and make the sacrifices, then, I really can't help you. Like, and I think you're being illogical to think that anything's ever going to happen if you don't change. Because like it or not, guys, change and improvement in any area, not just weight loss, is going to require some level of self-control, self-discipline, and sacrifice. And you have to look at, these sacrifices as choosing an alternative benefit. Yes, you're giving up X, Y, and Z, but you're gaining a whole heck of a lot down the road in terms of your quality of life, your health, your fitness level, how you feel. But no one really wants to hear this.
PJ, let me ask you this. So of the, many, many people that come to you and they seek your services and they say they want to lose weight and they want to get healthy and all that, how many, percentage-wise even, how many truly are able to sacrifice and give up the things that they know they got to do? In their mind, they already know the answer, right? They need your coaching and your encouragement, but they know what it comes down to, and that's sacrificing something about their daily lifestyle that is not right or not healthy. How many people are able to withstand that sacrifice?
Thank you for asking that. I often joke that I'm about 30% successful in my business. That's it.
Really?
Right? 3 out of 10 people that I work with actually get significant results.
Interesting.
And I that's not a shameful thing for me to say.
No, that's actually higher. That's actually higher. That's a credit to you. Right. That's higher than I thought you would have said.
But like if you guys were 30% successful in what you did, or anybody was 30% successful, you'd be a failure. And in my mind, I'm a success because I know how this works and how difficult changing adult behavior actually is. But to expand on that, Rock, the ones that do it, right, it's either they're at a point to where they have a very, very great purpose behind what they're doing, or they're the consequences of living an unhealthy lifestyle have now reached a point to where they're forced to change. So it's either the purpose and the desire is high enough, or the consequences have gotten bad enough. That's really it. I mean, in a nutshell, that's it.
So in other words, someone comes to you with one of two things. It's, hey, I got to get healthy because I got to be an example for my kids and I want to live long enough to see them get married. Or if I don't do this, I'm going to die. That's what it comes down to.
It's literally one of those two scenarios. And I think that's, but the ones that get out ahead of it and have the purpose and the desire and are playing the tape forward in their head and say, hey, look, I'm on a bad trajectory here, but I got time to fix this before things get really bad. Those people do so great. And on the flip side of things, which unfortunately I have many people come to me, they're like, hey, look, I'm 45 and I just got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I'm 330 pounds. I've let it get to this point, and if I don't change, I'm probably going to die. So it's one of those two things. It really is. It's the people that are kind of in the middle that's the biggest issue, right? That they don't have the purpose and they're too comfortable, but they have not yet gotten to a point to where the consequences have gotten dire enough.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
With that, PJ, we will let you go.
Stuff.
Always good stuff, man.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thank you, PJ.
If people want to find out more, where can they go?
Yep, for honest, practical, and tactical fitness and nutrition advice, lifestyle advice, give me a follow on Instagram at PJ Street. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one and you have the purpose and the desire, check out my website, revivefitnesssystems.com.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, PJ.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
And in the course of that, remember earlier I said something about my kid saying he wasn't hungry and made a giant sandwich. Mm-hmm. He sent me a text while we were talking to PJ there and said, I heard you say what I ate. I didn't put a tomato on it.
I saved 27 calories by not putting that tomato on it.
The only healthy thing you could have put on it. And sorry, buddy.
All right.
I take it back.
He's skinny. He's young.
Yeah. With that, we check in with traffic and weather. What's going on?
From the UC Health Traffic Center, mammograms save lives. Call 513-584-PINK to schedule your annual mammogram with UC Health's expert team. That's 513-584-PINK. Couple of problems. First, 75 southbound after 74. It's an accident with police there. We have 75 northbound, Turfway to Donaldson, where we have the crash here causing delays back to US 42. Still seeing heavier traffic on 75 southbound, 74 to the Brent Spence Bridge, and 71 southbound, Dana to the Brent Spence. Looks like that disabled vehicle has been cleared from the bridge. Now, Columbia Parkway at Torrance Parkway, we do have police cleaning up an accident here, and Remington at Creekside crash as well. Princeton Glendale Road at Hamilton Mason getting reports of an accident. Thanks for the tip call. I'm Rick Schrepp, News Radio 700 WLW.
100 WLW Weather Center for tonight. Clear skies, the low of 40. For tomorrow, sunshine and 77. It is 70 now. News Radio 700 WLW.
Is there a special time you like to listen to Scott Sloan?
I need Sloaney's common sense when everything seems bat crap crazy.
All right.
Sometimes I think Sloaney is the only thing that isn't crazy.
Sloaney's one of the few who has his head screwed on right.
I wish I could unscrew my head and screw on a better looking one.
I wish you could too.
I guess any time is the right time for Sloaney.
Anytime you can listen to Sloaney is a good time.
Tomorrow morning at 9 on 700 WLW. And check out his podcast on the free iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
This is your Thursday Sports Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas.
Thursday night football in the Pacific Northwest. The Seattle Seahawks, a 3.5-point home underdog to the San Francisco 49ers. Both of these teams coming off brutal losses as big favorites. The Seahawks lost at home to the Giants, while the Niners were shut out in the second half, losing at home to the Cardinals. Kenneth Walker only had 5 carries last week as he works his way back from injury. I think his workload increases this week, which means less passing attempts for Geno Smith. Let's go under 251.5 passing yards for the Seahawks quarterback.
New BetMGM customers can download the app today using code MINUTE to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if they don't win their first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus to wager. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to waterproofing, foundation repair, and concrete lifting, Dwyer is the only name you need to know to get the job done right. Call the professionals at the Dwyer Company at 513-777-0998 or visit thedwyercompany.com. Dwyer, the only name you need to know.
Shots to the arm, and you don't need to. One for COVID and one for
All right. Protect yourself, Ohio. Get your shots for COVID and flu today. A message from the Ohio Departments of Health and Aging.
Tri-State Jeep buyers, Mike Castrucci Jeep is #1 in Cincinnati for a reason. Check out this outstanding and unbeatable offer available right now. Buy a brand new 2024 Jeep Gladiator. Get as much as 20% off the sticker price. That's 20% off in rebate and dealer discount, or take advantage of 2.9% APR for 72 months, but only at Mike Castrucci Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Fairfax. Tri-State Ram truck buyers, Mike Castrucci Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram is #1 in Cincinnati for a reason. Right now, buy a brand new 2024 Ram light duty pickup truck. Get up to 25% off the sticker price, or get 0.9% APR for 72 months. New Ram pickup trucks, they're on sale right now, only at #1 Mike Castrucci Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Fairfax.
Well, if your basement floods every time it rains, you need a proper sump pump to pump, and drain. We can help. We're in the Sump Pump and Hall of Fame. Call us because you deserve better.
Plum tight, plum tight, plum tight.
Advanced Dentistry, the judgment-free dental experience. NoFearDentist.com.
In his campaign ads, Sherrod Brown thinks everything's pretty funny. But it's not when you look at his voting record. Brown voted to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Unfair and dangerous. Brown introduced a bill letting transgender biological men into girls' locker rooms and girls' bathrooms. That's just not right. And Brown supported allowing puberty blockers and sex change surgery for children. Migrants are flooding into Ohio, but Brown voted for government handouts to illegal immigrants and voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities that release dangerous illegal immigrant criminals onto Ohio's streets. Sorry, Sherrod, your seriously bad votes are no joke. And Ohio doesn't think it's funny. Sherrod Brown has let us down. He's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by AutoZone.
Week 6 of the NFL season will kick off tonight with the Seahawks hosting the 49ers in a battle for position in the NFC West. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow says his surgically repaired wrist is healthy, but he doesn't feel like it's all the way back in terms of throwing the ball. And UC, they are getting ready for their Week 7 showdown with Central Florida. Bearcats will go into Saturday's game with a 3-2 record. I'm Scott Davidson.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
News, traffic, and weather. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
Aftermath of Hurricane Milton, massive power outages and the death toll rising. This is the 4:30 report. I'm Matt Reese. Breaking now, at least 12 people dead after Hurricane Milton cut through Florida. Millions still without power, with the risk of deadly flash floods. President Biden again claiming that former President Trump has been spreading misinformation about FEMA's response to recent storms.
President Biden continued to call out people who are spreading misinformation and disinformation about hurricane response, saying federal workers are on the receiving end of threats.
Lives are on the line. People are in desperate situations. Have the decency to tell them the truth.
The president has repeatedly called out Donald Trump for leading what he calls an onslaught of lies about storm recovery. Asked if he's spoken to Trump about this issue, the president said,
Former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Checking your drive home this afternoon, we have the latest traffic and weather together.
From the UC Health Traffic Center, mammogram save lives. Call 513-584-PINK to schedule your annual mammogram with UC Health's expert team. That's 513-584-PINK. Well, we do have the delays on 75 northbound Turfway to Donaldson, about a 25-minute slowdown with an accident here causing delays back to US 42. Also, 75 southbound after 74. We do have the crasher with police on the scene. Heavy traffic still 71 south from Dana down to the Brent Spence Bridge, about a 25-minute delay. 75 south between 74 and the Brent Spence is about a half hour. And we're looking at Columbia Parkway at Torrance Parkway with an accident. Police are there. 275 eastbound, 75 in Ohio to Montgomery. That's about a 24-minute delay. I'm Rick Schrempf, News Radio 700 WLW.
Now the latest forecast from the Train Heating and Cooling Weather Center on News Radio 700 WLW.
We're looking at clear and cool for tonight and an overnight low of 43. Our Friday, well, morning patchy fogs possible, then mostly sunny and a high of 74. Tomorrow night, we're looking at staying clear and a low down to 52. From your severe weather station, I'm 9 First Warning Chief Meteorologist Steve Raleigh. News Radio 700 WLW.
71 degrees in Cincinnati. Another weekend of delays expected on 75 northbound at the Norwood Lateral, as crews are going to be leveling out I-75. There's a dip in the road there. Once again, 75 closes around 10 o'clock tomorrow night, reopens in the middle of the night Sunday.
Starting Friday night, we will shut down the northbound lanes of I-75. Just like we did last weekend, it'll be shut down just past the ramp to State Route 562 or the Norwood Lateral in the eastbound direction.
Kathleen Fuller with ODOT says if they make enough progress this weekend, they might not need to close 75 again in a couple of weeks. A gauge of inflation, the Consumer Price Index, rose more than expected in September. That is not good news. And initial filings for unemployment benefits also unexpectedly turned higher for last week. Closing bell, Wall Street. Dow fell 57 to 42,454. S&P 500 lost 11. NASDAQ lost 9 points.
700 WLW Sports.
Here's a Bengals update brought to you by Good Spirits Wine and Tobacco in Party Town with 13 locations in Northern Kentucky, your tailgate headquarters. Bengals up against the Giants on Sunday Night Football. Preview the game tonight on the Cincinnati Tax Resolution powered by Toph Sheldon Roundtable Show, live from Long Necks at Richwood at 6:05 here on 700 WLW. Baseball American League Division Series action tonight at 6. It is Detroit hosting Cleveland with the Tigers up there 2-1. Then at 8 is the Yankees and Royals with New York up there 2-1. NHL tonight, Columbus Blue Jackets open their regular season at Minnesota. Bill Dennison, 700 WLW Sports.
Got your next update at 5 o'clock. Matt Reese, News Radio 700 WLW.
700 WLW Cincinnati. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. 700 WLW, an iHeartRadio station.
Men, here are a few statistics about erectile dysfunction. First, half of men over age 50 have it, with even more of us affected as we get into our 60s and beyond. ED can also impact younger men, even in their 30s, which makes it one of the most pervasive conditions in medicine. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and statistics are one thing, but it's the emotional toll on relationships and the impact on a man's confidence and self-esteem that are the true tragedies of erectile dysfunction. This is why you need to get treated for your ED, but where you get treated is just as important as getting treated, because who you trust for your health care is critical. At Tri-State Men's Health, men's sexual health is our focus. Our providers are experts in treating ED, and we offer the complete range of treatment options with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means you can get your sex life back. So call us. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at
at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Listen to Sherrod Brown. When he wanted your vote.
On major issues, I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
But Sherrod Brown doesn't stand up to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He votes with them 97% of the time. Brown supported Biden and Harris on radical issues like amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. Brown voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID stimulus checks to convicted criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. And Brown voted to give taxpayer-funded health care to illegals who get amnesty and Social Security benefits, too. So the next time Sherrod Brown tells you